Hello, how you doing? And today I'm here at Morning Call Cafe in City Park. I'm here with my friend Deanna, and we about to talk about African American culture. Like we about to talk about, do African Americans have a culture? Like what kind? If they do, what kind of culture is it? So, what's your thoughts on that? Because I know you were talking about something earlier about if African Americans have a culture or something. So, like, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah. So I posed the question: as African Americans, do we have a culture and a Black American culture? And my opinion is yes. Like, I'm aware that like we have some things that come from like our ancestry, whether you know yours or not, but like the motherland, Africa, we have some things that kind of we take from there that we have now, like some of our dances and I guess some varieties of like soul food. But I think that being a Black American, it's safe to claim our culture as our own and not deny that we have one because we're not in Africa or because we've been taken from Africa that we don't have a culture.
So when you say that we have a culture, like, do you mean like we have a culture like our culture is like African culture, but in America, or like it's uniquely like American culture?
I think it's uniquely American culture. I think it's uniquely something that's been molded and shaped from our experience throughout the years.
Yeah. And
it's slowly but surely like becoming our own as Black Americans. Like we can claim who we are and what we do as our own.
I got you. You know, I kind of agree with that. Because you know they have some people that say that African American culture is African culture, and they're right. Like some like certain things, like just in any culture, like certain things are like historical. Like if we didn't come from Africa, like we
wouldn't probably do something.
Or talk the way we do.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. But I don't agree with people in the sense that some say like everything we do is like African, like oh we wear do-rags because they're African. Like no, some of that stuff is like what you said, like uniquely American. Like if our ancestors never came from Africa, then we wouldn't be talking the way we do or do certain things the way we do. So like I agree with you in that sentiment.
Yeah.
And plus I think any group of people who does a certain thing or lives a certain way of life has a culture. I mean, whether you like the culture now, you think it's like it has like some kind of deep, mystical, like goes back thousands of years, like it's irrelevant. The fact that people live in a certain way is a culture.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, it's not even a subject to talk about.
And I guess when I asked other people this question, it was kind of like, oh, we can't claim what we do because we came from Africa. And like, oh, we can't claim it as our own because it's not our own. But like, when do you like, I mean, we kind of already agree, but you know, I'm just kind of like stating an opposition that I got. Like, we don't have our own culture. We're cultureless people because we're not where we came from. And it's just like, I feel like that's a crazy notion.
See, my thing with that is when people, because I've heard people say that like we're not with our people, we're not like we in a foreign land.
Yeah.
I can't agree with that.
Me neither.
Because first and foremost, how you from a foreign land when you born there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't understand how you can say we how anybody, let alone African Americans, are from a foreign land. And on top of that, most people say that kind of sort of deny that, yeah, we from Africa. Like, I mean, you just look at the color of our skin, but you got to also understand that a lot of things happen between some of our ancestors come from Africa and like today, like you're not just from Africa, like you have other, whether it's by choice or not, you also have like other cultures in you, especially being from here, like you have something else in you, so like you can't just deny the whole other half of you. So you gotta understand that culture is always and always has been something complex. Like you just look at any country in the world in modern day, like people and groups and other nations have always been mixing and adding to each other. So it's like, short and short, we do have a culture. So.
and to my fellow African Americans who disagree. I think it gives more power when like we look at it from this point of view as like a black African American culture and not just like we're cultureless because we're in America. I think it gives more power when you like look at what you have, accept the origins, but also accept like the transformation of like what you said, where you come from to where you are now, and accept it and don't reject. You know, it's weird, but yeah.
Yeah, I got you. As a matter of fact, while we're on the subject, I also think, because it's also not just applies to African American culture, but American culture. Because I've also had some. I remember I had somebody tell me. I mean, they weren't trying to be rude or anything. Like they wasn't like trying to be malicious or like y'all like this. But I remember somebody told me they from a different country. Like Americans have no culture. Like I understand. Like a lot. Like we are a young nation. Like a lot of the places, like especially countries, like they've been around for like thousands of years. So I can understand where they were coming from. But look, I'm gonna just say this for the record. Like I said earlier, any place where people do something regularly, and that's how people live and grow up, has a culture. Yes. Like I said, whether you like it or not, or you think whatever is deep or not, is irrelevant to the conversation. So I just wanted to throw that in there for some of y'all that's a little bit thick-headed.
Yeah, and I think that like a lot of people, I think America has a very strong culture. I think that because it may not be as deep as other cultures, like, oh yeah, you can go back for centuries and centuries, and I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking like Ireland, like, oh, we have this. Like, I think American culture may be like a little shallow as far as like compared to other cultures where it's like really deep and like sometimes really mystical and like really, you know, centered around like family or music. I think American culture is to be taken seriously. It may be shallow and like kind of superficial, but it is like a culture. You get what I mean when I say that?
I understand what you're saying, but to me, I also think like the way America is, like, you know, being young and all that stuff, I really think that's how like most cultures started out. Because like you got all these cultures, like they talk about 1,000 years, okay, go back. But you gotta think about it. Most cultures, like when they first started out, like they were shallow. Like, like you didn't have all the history, like, oh, look, we got 1,000 years. Like, no, you have to start somewhere. Like you had these traditions have to come from somewhere. Somebody has to say, you know, I want to make a culture about this, so let's just start celebrating this. Like, no, I mean, America, like I said, America is a young nation, so like it's gonna take time before we have that claim to fame that, oh, we got this deep culture and all that stuff. Like, I mean, even what we're doing right now, like recording this video, like let's say like America lasts for another 3,000 years. This is gonna be part of the culture. Like people gonna look back and say, oh yeah, we got this. Like this is what we used to do. This is how we used to record stuff like that. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, and we're just like a big melting pot of so many different cultures. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like for everyone it's kind of like molding and reshaping what it means to be who you are. Like, how do you fit in? I don't know. I think we're just continually growing. We're fitting our shoes.
Yeah,
fitting into our own, you know?
I agree with you. Like I said, it might take a while, but the United States will get there. And then some other nation might pop. I don't know. I'm just talking, but you know, I agree. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Tell us what y'all think in the comment section about down below. You know, like, share, subscribe. Deanna also has a YouTube channel. What is it?
It's Deanna Johns.
Yeah, it's Deanna Johns. I'm gonna put it on the screen. I'm gonna also put it in the description below, so y'all go check that out. But yeah, so like I said, like, comment, share, all that. Tell us what y'all think. You know, share with some other people that might need a little refresher. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so thanks for watching the video, and we'll be sure to do more things like this in the future. So thanks, and have a good day.